with Vince, not breakfast. Aren't you a little bit early?
I came over here on some other business. I wanted to find out just how far you are with my divorce.
Well, I've made every possible effort to locate Helen.
As I'm sure you're aware, I don't care if you find Helen. I don't care if I ever see Helen again. What I do care about is getting a divorce from her.
Well, I'm working on that, Charles. The private eye I hired hadn't turned up a clue.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not surprised.
And I've placed ads in the personal columns in most of the major newspapers in the country. No response.
Now, what exactly is the point of that? Let's file and get on with it.
Well, now that we haven't heard from her, we can now file on the basis of desertion.
Then do it as soon as possible.
Hi. Talk.
It's about time.
Wait, you knew all along?
You never talked about her.
You never asked.
I saw an interview with her a couple of weeks ago on WRD. She mentioned you.
Yeah, well, that slipped out. She wasn't supposed to mention about us being married.
Is that why you didn't tell me? When we met, I could tell you weren't happy. I figured things weren't going well between you two.
Well, you're right. They weren't. They're not. Look, I'm sorry. I should have come right out and told you, okay?
Why didn't you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, when you mentioned that there was no one else, I believed you. I thought you meant it.
I thought that... I don't know. I thought it was over between Becky and me.
What? Until she walked into the door?
I'm sorry about the other night. I didn't expect her back.
Obviously.
Well, you don't know what it's been like with her lately.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Now, what are you getting so angry about since you knew?
Did you ever think that I care about you? That I didn't expect the other night to be a one-time deal?
So what now?
No. I suppose we can say so long if that's what you want.
Is that what you want?
No. I want us to continue as we have.
You sure about that?
Russ, I'm old enough to know what I want. Nothing has to change.
Yeah, but I've changed. And the way I feel about you has changed. Look, Sheila, I don't know what we can do. But what we should do, I just know that I like you a lot.
Do you want to go on seeing me?
Yes.
Then we will.
Becky? Becky, open up, it's me.
Whoever it is, go away.
Becky, let me in, you're late. Come on.
All right.
Becky, let me in.
All right, just a minute.
Oh, come on.
Dude, you know what time it is? Huh?
Overslept.
Well,
The interview's at 10 o'clock.
okay, take it easy. I'll get it together.
Get it together. You're supposed to have it together by now.
Okay.
Do you remember what we talked about on the plane last night on the way
Everybody
in?
wants a talent at the studio on time early, but David, then you just hurry up and wait. It doesn't
I asked you to make a decision last night. That decision includes your willingness to cooperate with every aspect of this bit.
cooperating. It doesn't take me long to get ready. You know that.
Becky, this is no hometown paper stuff. An interview with Music Beat magazine can make you or break you.
I'm sorry. David, I had a very rough time with Russ yesterday, and I'm a little drained emotionally and physically, okay?
Becky, wake up and listen to me, will ya? This interview can be the most important interview in your career.
Why? What's the big deal? I mean, the album isn't even done yet. It doesn't...
The album alone isn't going to make you a star, dear lady. You have to do that. Who you are, your looks, your personality, your overall essence. If you can capture the media, you're in. Otherwise, forget it.
Fine. Why don't you let me put some water on my face, some blue jeans, and I'll talk to anybody you want, all right?
That's not your essence.
Yes, that's my essence,
No,
David.
not anymore. I'm taking you to Michael's. While he's doing your hair and makeup, I'll prep you for the interview.
I've had lots of interviews before.
Yeah, I've seen them. I don't want you making the same mistakes.
Like what?
Like talking about your dear, sweet husband in Kingsley. That kind of talk just won't cut it.
Yeah, well, I don't have a dear, sweet husband in Kingsley anymore, so you don't have to worry about it, all right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a husband in Kingsley, but right now he's not dear and he's not sweet.
Yeah, well, I would suggest not mentioning him, sweet or otherwise. Leave your love life to the public's imagination. Be mysterious.
David, it's 8:11 in the morning. You want me to be mysterious? You ask a little much of a girl sometimes, you know that?
Yeah, well, it's for a good cause. Now, come on, we're late. Get going.
I'm glad you came by, Liz. I was meaning to get in touch with you to see how Jill reacted to our talk.
Oh, well, that's sort of why I'm here.
Oh?
Jill doesn't really understand why you wanted to see her.
I'm just trying to help. Does she resent that?
Not exactly.
But you told me yourself she has difficulty accepting favors from other people.
I guess that's part of it.
Jill is an independent girl. I admire her for that.
Yes, she's independent, all right. Judge Slaymaker, it's...
Sit down, please. Call me Beth.
All right. You see, Jill feels, rightly or wrongly, that since the charges against her are dropped, that her personal life is no longer your concern.
I understand her feelings. I simply don't want Jill or anybody like Jill to fall into the trap of criminal life.
Yes, but to be honest, Beth, although I don't share Jill's reasons, I do share her bewilderment. I mean, you're offering to help her with her education,
It's
for instance.
true, yes. My concern for Jill goes beyond the courtroom. My concern for Jill is special. So is yours.
Yes, that's true.
Her life, what she has told me about it, has been quite difficult. I find it tragic to think that she has never known the warmth or the love of a real family.
And it may be too late for her now.
But we must keep trying.
Well, it's a matter of time. Lately, she's been talking about leaving Kingsley altogether.
But how could she? Where would she go?
Well, she'd do it the same way that she came here, just drifting.
Well, we can't let that happen.
Well, we certainly can't hold her here against her will. Even if we could, I certainly wouldn't want to. Jeff and I, we just wanted to show her some love.
I can't help but wonder what her life might have been like with a family like yours.
Well, different, I hope. I often think about who her real parents are.
Has Jill ever wanted to find them?
No, she's never mentioned a word. I think as far as she's concerned, they don't exist.
Well, I would think she would be curious.
Well, perhaps it's too painful for her.
Yes. She has to keep up the tough girl facade.
Well, you know her very well. It is a facade, and underneath all that is a girl who's hurting, who's been hurting for quite some time.
I just wish there was something I could do.
But you already have. Your offers, your generosity are really overwhelming. I mean, Jeff and I, we don't even know how to thank you.
The least I can do.
I don't understand. What is it? What's wrong?
I am Jill's mother.
Well, hello, pretty lady. Please come in. Gosh, it's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
Oh, have a seat. You know, I've been wondering what was happening. But as a lawyer, I do realize that where my client's welfare is concerned, sometimes no news is good news.
Well, today's an exception, because I have some news today that's very, very good. Jean and I are back together again.
Well, I think I knew that from the look on your face. So, what can I do for you?
Well, I came to let you know that I won't be needing your legal assistance as far as the divorce is concerned.
Well, matter of fact, I hadn't really looked at those papers since last time we talked. I had an inkling you two might work things out.
It's incredible. You know, it's like we have a new start.
I'm really happy for you.
Well, I'm here to pay your legal fee. How much is it?
Well, that little bit of paperwork, I don't know. Can't be much. Let me mail you a bill.
Oh, well, the house we're living in is being remodeled, and so we're staying in another one for a while. In fact, we're moving there later on this morning. I better give you the address.
Yeah. I know this address. This is Terry Davidson's house, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Is she letting you and your family stay there?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason. No reason at all.
Well, thank you, Mr. Webster, and I appreciate all that you've done for me.
Yeah, well, take care.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So much for my nice day.
What?
We're supposed to have lunch with Vince, not breakfast. Aren't you a little bit early?
I came over here on some other business. I wanted to find out just how far you are with my divorce.
Well, I made every possible effort to locate Helen.
As I'm sure you're aware, I don't care if you find Helen. I don't care if I ever see Helen again. What I do care about is getting a divorce from her.
Well, I'm working on that, Charles. The private eye I hired hadn't turned up a clue.
Well, I'm not surprised.
And I've placed ads in the personal columns in most of the major newspapers in the country. No response.
Now, what exactly is the point of that? Let's file and get on with it.
Well, now that we haven't heard from her, we can now file on the basis of desertion.
Well, then do it as soon as possible.
Well, I'll get to it as soon as I can.
That will be today.
Today. Charles, is that you talking or Nancy Lawson?
Just get on with it. Now, there's something else I have to know. How long will it take for the decree to be final?
Well, in case of desertion, it usually takes a year.
A year?
Charles?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
It takes a year in these cases. Now, I know you don't like that, and neither will Nancy, but that's the law.
I'm certainly glad we cleared the air about our relationship.
Have we?
Well, you want to be with me, and I certainly want to be with you.
Yeah, well, that might not be so easy.
Well, we can work it out. I just want you to be happy. I know when we met, you just seemed so lonely.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was. Becky and I, our marriage, that's what you want to call it. It's been an on and off again thing ever since, well, quite a few months now anyway. I guess it's kind of like off again now. At least for the time being, since she's off in New York on this big deal interview.
To promote her new album?
Yeah. You know, sometimes I wonder if I even exist to her. Sometimes her music seems like it's more important than me.
She's going to be a star, Russ. Big star. Her life will always be like that. Dashing off to New York and Los Angeles, wherever the action is.
Guess so. You know, every time she leaves, I'm never sure that she'll even come back again.
Do you love her, Russ?
And I did. So much has happened now. I don't know. Look, Sheila, I don't want you to get hurt.
Russ, whatever it takes. I want you to be happy. I know what I'm getting into.
Do you? Do either of us?
Well, I guess that's just something we're gonna have to find out.
Come in, come in. Oh, here, let me help you with
Thank
that.
you, Terry. We tried to bring just the bare essentials, but you know, I guess it looks like we're bringing everything but the kitchen sink.
Oh, well, don't worry, there's one here.
Mama, a sun porch. Terry, this is gorgeous.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet? Just take a look around. Oh, I knew she'd like it. Oh, I can't tell you how grateful we are, Terry.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
Oh, and thank the Lord Jean, Carl, and Jimmy are back together again. And now a place of ours to stay until ours is all fixed up. Oh, and such a fine place.
The Lord has his ways.
Oh, he surely does.
Oh, I am so happy for you, all of you.
But I can't help feeling sorry for Nancy. You know, it's a shame she's the way she is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Only too well. I would have given her this whole house no matter what the will said, but...
Oh, well, where's she now?
Well, as far as I know, she's still staying with Miriam Mason. Those two make quite a pair.
Oh, I'll bet they do.
Mama, this house is beautiful. You should see the kitchen.
Oh, I knew she'd like it. Just the other day, she was begging Leon to speed it up. Honey, don't you go and tell him to slow down now.
Oh, I wouldn't dare think of such a thing, but Terry, this house is beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Carla.
Yeah.
Mr. Carpenter to see you.
Okay, send him in.
Earl, Vince called. He's going to be a half an hour late. Do you have those divorce papers for me?
Oh, I have them for you tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, it's about time.
Oh, you're in an unusually chipper mood today. Something going on over at your office? I called over there yesterday. Some woman answered the phone, didn't know what was going on. Thought maybe I had the wrong number.
That was my daughter trying to be a help to me. In her condition, she couldn't even recognize a phone, much less answer one.
Is that bad, huh? I'm sorry, Charles.
Oh, it's nothing really. Nancy took her home and Miriam slept it off, but I just don't know what's gotten into her lately.
Well, with Nancy as her best friend, who knows?
Nancy is trying to help her, Harold.
Help her? What, go crazy? Look, Charles, don't you think maybe it's time Miriam got some professional help?
Now, you just back off. This is a family matter, and I don't want any of your sage legal advice.
You may need legal counsel before it's all over if you want Miriam to get well.
Miriam simply refuses to see a doctor.
Well, you can force her. I mean, you can have her committed to a hospital. You need a court order to keep her there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for your very supportive advice. I must remember to call on you.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Charles. Don't take it the wrong way. I just mean that it might come to that, that's all.
First Nancy, and now you. You know, I wish you people would stop trying to put my daughter in a straitjacket.
Yeah, with Helen divorced and Miriam tucked away in some nice, comfy, padded cell somewhere, Nancy'd have you all to herself.
And just what are you trying to say?
I'm saying, watch out.
Your devious little mind, Harold.
You're forgetting something, Charles. Nancy was my client. I learned devious from a pro.
Hey, honey. Boy, this is something, huh?
Pretty nice, huh?
Oh, so is this. Yeah, I'll say. You bet.
Why don't you be ready in a minute?
Say, the flowers there.
From our garden.
Yeah, well, that sure does beat the old paint fumes. Did you get everything moved in?
Mm-hmm. Finished this morning. With all the stuff we brought, Terry Davidson must have thought we were planning to stay forever.
Boy, I tell you, this is really some kind of place.
Mm-hmm. Now, I can't wait until Jimmy sees it. I'm going to pick him up after school.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, you know, can you imagine a house without the ladders and the paint cans and the buckets and the drop cloths? That's pretty good.
And two guys that think they're painters. You know, now I don't care if they never finish.
Boy, you know, little lady, I am so happy. I don't think a man has a right to feel this happy.
Well, you better get used to it because I plan on keeping you happy for a long, long time.
Yeah? I love you so much, sweet.
I love you too, Jean. Forever.
Now, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Hey, don't mind me. You old married folks just go on with your business.
Mom, you just put that plate down and come on over here, lady. Get over here. I'll give you a hug.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you for bringing our family back together again.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
Now, do you want this now, or should I bring this back a little later?
No, I don't know. I guess old married folks have to eat, too. What's that man can't live on love alone?
Becky, you were fantastic. You had that guy eating out of your hand.
Did you like when I told him about the first gig? You know how I had to dodge the beer cans just to sing a song?
The Hick Bar story, yeah, where the audience wound up screaming for more.
Encore, encore!
It's great. Becky, I tell you, they eat that stuff up.
How about mystery? Did I give him mystery
You
or did I
gave
give
them
him...
mystery, just like we rehearsed it. It was great.
Boy, I tell you, David. I mean, talk about making up a whole new life. It was fun. Makes my life now look pretty dull. You know?
Now, come on, kiddo, shake it. We've got reservations at Sardi's.
Just a minute.
Yeah, and look, don't forget any of your new life. From here on out, you'll have people everywhere screaming to get interviews with you.
It's funny, I thought Russ would be home by now, but he's not.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry about it, kiddo. Your old man isn't part of your new life anyway, remember?